Getting into it, Soul Silver has come out with part 2 and part 3 of their theory, and I'm going to add in a little extra in some places that I believe extra needs to be had, or I have thoughts of my own. So this is not all original thoughts to myself. Credit goes to Soul Silver for a base of stuff, and then I have points that I'll be making on top of theirs. So, part 2 became part 3 because they just experienced this part in the game, but they are now convinced that Grandfather not only hints at Doku Taro resurrecting the Loyal Three, but that it may have been Kirin under the influence of Doku Taro. And here's why. When Kirin's eavesdropping on us when we first bring the mask to Grandfather, he immediately runs off, and we find him at Peachy's shop. And we know that the suspected image or idol of Doku Taro is that pink peach object in her shop that you can see right here and right here. So it's kind of funny that he runs right to Peachy's, right? So 2. Later, when we face Kirin at the Loyal Three's grave, all of Carmine's dialogue is riddled with info. She keeps stressing that Kirin isn't acting like himself, and she asks us if this is normal behavior for someone Kirin's age. The answers we can select are IDK and I don't think so. And I and Soul Silver both think that these are to make us, the player, actually think about it. Like, is this normal? Is he just like maybe going through, he's, puberty and he's changing and hormones and emotions? I mean, that's kind of a deep cut for a kid's game. So I think it's option 2, which is Kirin is possessed or partially possessed by Doku Taro. Here's why I think Kirin is under the control of Doku Taro, or at least partially under control of Doku Taro. The Loyal Three are only revived after we fight Kirin and beat him. So, this is going to be an ongoing theory that I have, and it is branching off of stuff from Soul Silver. I believe that Doku Taro can only control Pokemon and humans, yes, humans, that are weaker willed than it. So, for most of us, when we're playing through the DLC, we have already beaten the mainline game, right? We're the Paldean champion. We have a team of legendaries. We are him. We are the player, right? So we are far too powerful for someone like Kirin to beat. Now, this does kind of fall apart a little bit because, yes, you don't have to have beaten the game, but you could still say that the will or just the soul of the player character is great, because if they haven't yet achieved greatness, they are destined to by their own volitions. So, is it us, the player character, that causes the Loyal Three to become resurrected? Or is it Doku Taro is controlling Kirin and needed time to resurrect the Loyal Three? Maybe it feeds off of emotions, and it knew that if we defeated Kirin, Kirin would become enraged, maybe a little depressed, and it could feed off of those emotions because it has control over Kirin and use that excess energy to revive the Loyal Three. Because it sees how strong of a trainer and person we are, and it fears that we will be able to prevent it from taking control of others. The Loyal Three are its retainer Pokemon. You could kind of think of them as like champions, in a way, if that makes sense. So I think maybe that's what caused the Loyal Three to be revived. Doku Taro maybe saw us, the player character, and saw that we might be able to foil their plans. Because from some of the data mines and leaks, it kind of seems like they're going to try to control a lot of Pokemon and people. The word zombie has been thrown around there now, so it's a little concerning. If you ask me, zombie humans, kind of not that bad. Zombie Pokemon, terrifying. But that is also kind of important that we discuss what a zombie is, because you probably think of a zombie like The Walking Dead, a mindless husk that is its only goal is to spread infection.
Editor Frenchie here, and he's talking about some good stuff, but it doesn't really make sense. At least I don't think that makes sense watching it back. So think about it this way. You know, in One Piece, Doflamingo can control people with his razor wires from his devil fruit. Think about it like that, but Dokutaro has the added benefit of being able to place them on it permanently, and they also excrete toxic compounds. Let's go back to listening to this guy talk about stuff. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Leave a like and subscribe if you are. It means the world. We're getting closer and closer to 350 subscribers. So what if we've already seen some of these zombies? The Loyal 3 are zombies, in the sense that they are under the control of Dokutaro. They are sentient and they can act on somewhat free will, but at the end of the day, they serve and are loyal to only Dokutaro, and they will do whatever it requests of them, because it isn't really a request, it is a command that must be followed. So, earlier I said humans could be under the influence of Dokutaro, and that has kind of been the whole line of this theory with Kieran being under control. But it seems like Kieran is maybe not being possessed like a zombie that has no free will, but is rather Dokutaro can't completely control him. So it's more just like influencing his emotions and some of his actions because he's younger. So by making him angry or jealous at certain points can direct him in the way it wants. Because we've seen that the only way that it can really control or invigorate is through a toxic chain. We know that the toxic chains have dual purpose. Well, at least I think they have dual purpose. The first, as all of their Pokédex entries state, for Okidoki, it got increased muscles. For Munkidori, it got psychic powers. Pheasantipity got beauty and a lovely voice. All thanks to the toxic stimulants from the toxic chains, things that they were gifted by Dokutaro. So you kind of have to think about that description. Toxic stimulants. What else? What could we make a connection to in real life? I think steroids, right? Steroids are kind of not great for your body, but the benefits they give you, at least for some people, that physique, that muscle, that strength outweighs the negatives, right? So maybe the toxic chains are something like that. You are slowly losing your free will to Dokutaro, but while you still retain it, you get to be the strongest, best version of yourself. At least for the Loyal 3. It seems like it was some sort of invigorating or additive bonus for them. In the terms of Kieran, it seems like there's been no benefits, only manipulation and control. So that's not looking too good for humans. Going back to Soul Silver, they're stating that Dokutaro possesses the trainer on the Kitakami signboards. The Dokutaro Pokemon was part of the group trying to get Ogerpon's mask. The depiction in the Kitakami signboard shows a human trainer with the Loyal 3 chasing Ogerpon. Based on what we are assuming, we know that Dokutaro's ability is to put people under its influence or turn them into zombies. This depicted trainer was probably under Dokutaro's influence or fully possessing a human trainer. This could have been exactly what happened with Kieran. Now, they go on and they discuss that we don't see the toxic chains yet. And I think that this is the depiction here is before the Loyal 3 became the Loyal 3, or at least the early stages of them becoming the Loyal 3. Dokutaro, who may or may not be this sphere here, I'm more inclined to think it's a Pokeball. Soul Silver thinks that they are dumplings. You let me know in the comments what you think. But Dokutaro is either this item here or the trainer controlling the human and influencing the minds of the Pokemon. And they fail to catch Ogerpon, so Dokutaro resorts to giving them toxic chains, which invigorate them and give them the power to inevitably beat Ogerpon. We kind of see this going on thing of Dokutaro getting a group together to try to take what it wants, failing, powering up, and then inevitably achieving what it wants, only to maybe later be foiled again. You can see that with the Kitakami sign. The Pokemon failed to catch Ogerpon in the beginning, so eventually they were fed the dumplings from the Momotaro story, which I think in some translations do include invigoration, or in the case of the Pokemon game, in the DLC, it could be the toxic chains. Just, so it wasn't strong enough to catch Ogerpon, so it invigorated the loyal 3. We see that again with Kieran after we beat him the last time. He vows to become stronger and a worthy rival. In a way. What if that is Dokutaro completely controlling Kieran, recognizing us, the player character, as a threat to its plans, and that the only way it will be able to prevent us from foiling whatever devious and dark and evil plans it might have, because, maybe it's a good guy at the end of the story. Who knows? I don't. This is just my thoughts. It needs to be able to have a trainer who can equal or beat us in a fight. So that kind of leads to the idea that maybe Kieran will be the Elite Four champion of the Blueberry Academy by the time we get there, because Dokutaro is influencing him to get stronger. But that's just me. These are my thoughts. I don't even know if it all makes sense or what, but yeah. Hopefully this makes enough sense for you guys to follow, and I'm not just blabbering like a crazy man. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I will see you guys later.